Well, hello everybody and welcome to my show. My name is Jason DaCosta and this is Consistent Preterism. Thank you for joining me today. Today is a summer day. It is at least 80 degrees out, I would guess. Sun is a-blazing. Sun is a-beaming. I left my glasses at home, so my eyes are very strained all day, which can't be good for them. But anyways, I just wanted to check in, give you guys a little biblical rundown on a couple of topics, el topicos, I like to call them in Spanish. I got a couple comments, and again, as I've said recently on the channel, I don't really have much of time or energy or anything really right now to be answering comments. I try to answer a few comments on the more new videos, the more recent ones, because I don't know. I really don't know why, but that just seems like the right thing to do. But as far as older videos that have been on the channel for a while, or the Chanel for a while, if you're into designer things, those videos, I haven't been really engaging the comments. I can see them, and every time I check the comments every few days, I see there's some new comments. Those comments, I'm sorry, I just don't have the time right now to be getting into things and explaining things. And really, I kind of have a default thing right now as I'm going through this busy time in life where I'm the GC for a home project, a large home build project. So that's just great, averaging like no hours of sleep. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually going pretty smooth so far, knock on wood. But just a lot of stuff going on in life, so I don't have the time to really get into that, and typically I resort to the please just watch more videos reply, unless it's something real quick that I can answer. So forgive me if I have not responded. I just cannot do it right now, but some of the comments do spur a little bit of a little kick in the ass, if you will, to talk about certain topics, El Topicos, and one of the comments was regarding the 144K and the Great Multitude, I think it was. And this lady said that there's no way that the 144K can be the same group as the Great Multitude. And so, I hope that she gets around to listening to the other vids, because I probably have about a dozen just on that question and that controversial topic alone. And I think that if she gives it a shot and listens to a handful of them, she'll realize that the more logical and the more sensical thing or sensical view would be mine. Because why is that? Well, first of all, we cannot forget that the New Testament last days portrays a mission. Okay, I always say this. I always go back to this, and I try to get people to remember this whenever I'm talking about the Bible. Because we have a tendency to think about what's going on in the New Testament as this eternal, never-ending mission for all people. Now, it's a mission somehow to these people, yet it never ends, right? This mission doesn't have an ending. Or it's a mission for these people, yet there's no specific people that they're searching. They're just kind of searching, right? For anybody who will hear or who will listen or who will react or whatever. There's all different ways of understanding it. So, but I like to remind people that it's a mission for specific elect ones, or the chosen ones, or the saints, or the elect, or the sheep, if you will. And all throughout the Gospels and in the beginning of this, we see Jesus saying that he wouldn't lose one of them, that they were very important, that, if one was led astray, he would find them, he would seek them out, whatever, So there's this message that these specific elect individuals are of extreme importance to Jesus and to God, and the shepherd, the good shepherd, was going to seek the sheep. And so if you keep that in mind when you come across other areas of the New Testament, or even the book of Revelation, because that's what this topic comes from, you can kind of try to keep things in better context, right? Like, you don't start thinking about everybody if you remember that the mission for the elect was just that. It was a mission for specific individuals. And so there's a lot of proof of that, and you've seen the arguments all throughout the centuries of people declaring that Calvin's right, or the other guy's right, or we're the elect, or you're not the elect, or anyone can choose, or no, anyone can't choose, it's by God's sovereign grace, all these different things. But I think that all of that fails because it misses the foundational point that this was about Israel. Jesus did say he came only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's a pretty bold statement when you think about it, and you just let it marinate and you put it in the fridge overnight so it gets nice and flavorful, and then you throw it in the crock pot the next day. When that statement comes out of that crock pot, it is delicious. Or for some people, it's disgusting because they just don't like the taste of it. But to me, it's actually a quite pleasant taste because it says to me, hey, stop wasting your time believing something that's not true. And so that's what it's done for me. And it said to me, wow, Jesus himself said that he only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So I think I'm on a pretty good team when it comes to my view versus what everybody else thinks is correct. Or I'm on the proper side, I should say. So anyways, we have this mission for these elect ones. So when we get to the book of Revelation, we see a lot of different pictures of the same event. Right? Every pastor, every person, every Bible guy, they'll all explain to you that Revelation just recapitulates itself. A lot of times you're looking at the same event retold through a different lens, or retold using different imagery and different symbols and all kinds of stuff. And that would be the very accurate explanation of the book of Revelation. There's a lot of things that are retold. There's a lot of the same pictures that you see are being retold with a slightly different bit of information added in. You can see elements of the same people there. For instance, Revelation 7 and Revelation 14 talking both about the throne and how they're singing by the throne, and there's harps playing and sounds of music and beautiful sounds coming from the throne room, and they're celebrating, singing a song of salvation. Right? They both use the same elements, but yet they also include different elements. So you have two totally different portions that include some of the same elements to show you and to tell you that they are the same, or they're speaking about the same thing. A lot of times in Revelation, you can come to a new chapter and think, oh, this is a new time, a new period in time, right? Chapter 3 was, 400 BC to 200 BC. Chapter 4 is 200 BC to 300 AD, like stuff like that. But really, you can simplify the book down to its nuts and bolts. And you can understand that everything that it was looking forward to was coming to a close. It was going to take place at the destruction of Jerusalem, Mystery Babylon, the mother of all harlots, the city where the Lord was slain, the city who was drunk on the blood of the prophets, right? Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how I weep for you, right? Jesus said to them, not one stone will be left unturned, as he promised. All these things would take place in this generation, right? It was all about Jerusalem. It was all about Old Covenant system, the Old Covenant system. So that's what the book of Revelation is about. But my point here is that wouldn't it make sense that a book that recapitulates certain scenes over and over again using different descriptions and different symbols and whatnot, wouldn't it make sense that in the book's cleverness, or in the book's symbolism, or in the book's deep imagery, it would be realistic to think that maybe the author uses two different descriptions to describe the same people? In other words, the 144,000, well, he tells you who those were. They were of the 12 tribes of Israel, 12,000 from each tribe. But then he looks, right? So he hears the number, right? But then he looks and he sees this great multitude. Now, I contend that he's having a different description, or sharing a different description of the same people. So he hears the number 144K, 12,000 from each tribe, and he shows you that those are the Israelites. But notice that he does not tell you where they came from, right? Nobody would argue that all 12 tribes were in Judea or around Jerusalem and the southern kingdom during those last days, during the first century. But we do have proof that the 12 tribes were beyond the Euphrates until that point, which Josephus said, or James writing to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, or Jesus saying that he not only comes for the sheep near, but also the sheep afar off, and that he died not only for the sons of God near, but also the sons of God scattered abroad. So you see the signs of the Israelites and the 12 tribes being scattered abroad, being dispersed, being far and wide. Peter writing to the elect of the dispersion, right? In Pontus, Galatia, Asia. So he's writing to the elect, which is always Israel, but he's writing to the elect in Pontus, Galatia, Asia, Cappadocia, different nations. So then what we see here in the secondary vision, or when he looked and saw the great multitude from all nations, is we see just that. We see the Israelites from Pontus, Galatia, Asia, Cappadocia, Bithynia, right? And that's how he's seeing them. But they're not apart from the 12 tribes. No. They're not apart from the 144K. That 144K is a symbolic number for Israel. It's a perfect number. 12,000 from each tribe, 12 tribes, right? So the 144K is a symbolic number for the Israelites. It's a large number. It's a vast number. It's not meant to be taken literally. So when John looks and sees them, he sees a great multitude from all nations, because that's where they came from. And you can see that the story kind of comes full circle, because in the beginning, Jesus commissions them to go find his elect from the four winds of the earth. Go find the sheep. And so then this mission ensues, and they gather them in near and far. Like Peter said, the Holy Spirit is to you, Israel, to your children, Israel, and to all of you who are afar off, as many as our Lord will call. That's Acts chapter 2. And those ones afar off are still the Israelites. So I just wanted to explain to you how perfectly everything falls in line if we just let the imagery and symbolism do what it's meant to do. Just be what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be looked at literally, as if John said there was 144,000 Israelites to the T. Therefore, the great multitude cannot be the Israelites. No, that's the wrong way of looking at it. The 144,000, even if it was a literal number, which I don't believe it was, but even if it was, it's still a monstrous great multitude, right? And just so happens that Hosea, in Hosea 1 and 2, when he's predicting the comeback of the children of Israel, he describes them from coming back from the nations as a great number, too great to be estimated, or too large to be numbered. The same thing that Revelation says about the great multitude from all nations. It was too much to be numbered, too large. So, again, there's an easy way to do the Bible, and there's a hard way. And the hard way is to try to force yourself into things where you don't belong. The easy way is to just let the story and the context and the details and the trajectory dictate where you let your mind go. Anyways, that's all I got for you today, folks. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll catch you on that flippity floppity. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.